Welcome back to another Film Geek Movie review. Today I've got the day off from the old day job, so I figured I would go take in a matinee, and I am off to check out the new slasher, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, I know that sounds kind of familiar. Hey, Film Geek, didn't they do this movie once before back in 1997? Yes, they did. This is one of those. Honestly, I don't know what this movie is. I think it's a sidequel like they were doing in the movie Scream, where it's still part of the franchise and all, but it takes, characters from the franchise and bring them into something new and kind of create a new franchise for the film. And I just don't know why we're doing that with I Know What You Did Last Summer, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, or the all-time classic, I'm pretty sure I remember what you did last summer, but could you please give me some information because I'm a little sketchy at the moment. No, seriously, that's not the name of the third one. The name of the third one is I Will Never Forget What You Did at Summer or something like that. It was a direct-to-video kind of film, and I don't remember much about it. And I honestly don't know why they're doing this, to be perfectly honest. Now, the first I Know What You Did Last Summer was pretty good back in 1997, and it tells the story of a group of friends who commit a crime, they kill somebody on the side of the road, they cover it up, and then they go about their lives. And then this guy starts showing up with a big fish hook, killing everybody. And it looks like this film is taking that exact same plot. Now, the reason why I don't think this is a full-on remake is because people from the original film, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr., are in this film also. Now, I don't know how big of roles they have in this movie. I'm pretty sure that they're just going to be like a really quick little information grab, and then the film's going to move on. I don't think they're going to play that big of a role, but yeah, that's its connection to the series, and I'm also pretty certain that it's only going to be connected to the first two movies in the original franchise. I don't know why they would do the direct-to-video movie, but maybe there's going to be some connection to that one also. So maybe this is a legacy sequel, maybe this is a sidequel. I am not 100% sure what this actually is. This film is directed by Jennifer Caitlin Robinson, and as I said, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. is also in this film. But you know what? It is enough of me sitting here jibber-jabbering on. It is time for me to get out the door because I need to go see I Know What You Did Last Summer. Welcome back. Just getting home from I still don't know why we did this. I mean, I know what you did last summer. And that's exactly how I still feel about this movie. I don't know why we did this. So let's get this started, shall we? I'm going to get things started with negatives, then move into the positives to end the video on the ever so important high note. I'm just going to start off with, yes, I don't know why we are here. Why are we doing this again? Back in 1997, when the first film was released, it was released to critics being like, and fans going, no, this is really cool. And it seems like we've spent almost 30 years arguing whether or not I Know What You Did Last Summer is a good slasher film. Now, it does have some good elements, and I think it's all right. I think the first movie is a good enough slasher film. It had some good surprises, it had some decent kills, and it had likable characters. But there was no need for a sequel, let alone whatever this movie was. There was literally no reason for any of that. The first film was a really good, well-made, one-and-done slasher film, and that's all we needed. But the movie made a lot of money. Fans really liked it, so they threw out a very, very fast sequel the next year, which the only things I really remember about that movie is that Jack Black has freaking dreadlocks and he's a stoner, and Brandy is the star of the film. I think she's the star of the film, or she's at least in the film, right? Am I right about that? Brandy was in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And then the third film, which I can't, it's like something like I Will Never Forget What You Did Last Summer or That Summer or something. I literally saw that movie one time. It was a direct-to-video type of situation. I watched it and went, yeah, well, there we go. And yeah, that's the exact same thing with this movie. I really do not know who was yelling and screaming for a sidequel or a continuation, a legacy sequel, whatever you want to call this movie, for I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, there were some things about it. There's a couple of things I did like, so I will get to that into the positives, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of them. I just want to talk about, first off, the dialogue. I don't know what's going on with this movie, but the dialogue in this film is just horrendous. It is such a poorly written script, and it's not that they sound unnatural, it just doesn't sound like things that people would be saying. Like, it doesn't feel like dialogue that actually exists in the world. It's definitely kind of like movie talk, to be perfectly honest. And then there's introductions of characters that absolutely make no sense whatsoever and do not serve any purpose whatsoever except cannon fodder. For the first, I want to say, half of this movie, if they introduce somebody for just no good reason whatsoever, like, I just happened to talk to this person at a bus stop, well, there's your next victim for the whole first of the movie. And let's talk about those kills. There is nothing brought new to the table when it comes to the kills in this movie. None of them are creative. None of them stand outside the box. None of them look anything cool. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not 100% certain why this movie had an R rating. This is one of those movies that does those things where, okay, there's pretty much 2-3 weapons used throughout the entire movie. There is the trailer where they show the spike gun or whatever the thing's called, you know, for fishing, the air gun rifle spike thing, the spear throwing spear gun. I knew I'd figure it out eventually. Can you tell that I don't get on boats very often? So there's the spear gun, you've got the classic hook, and of course knives, lots of knives. And the way this movie does its kills is that the guy will get it real close to him, and then they'll just go stabby, and then blood comes out their mouth. And they're like, and that's it. That's your gory kill. There is nothing in this film that really even needed special effects beyond having a blood capsule in someone's mouth. I mean, in all honesty, that's all it really was. I have seen 1,000 times better kills in extremely low budget horror films than in this movie. There's also a completely tacked on, for no reason whatsoever, dream sequence in this movie that I honestly think the only reason that it even exists is so they can shoehorn in some more people to make you go, ha ha ha, remember that? Remember in the first movie when they did the thing with the stuff and then that person said the thing? They said the thing. And yeah, they also make sure that Jennifer Love Hewitt says the thing in this movie too. They do that. There's a whole point to it. In fact, her entire existence for this movie is to say the thing. And I'm like, why are we doing this again? So let's get into, well, again, I don't really have anything else except for that this movie is not particularly scary. There was one actual really well done jump scare that actually did get me because I was not expecting it, because everything was so kind of bland and boring up to that point, and now it caught me off guard, and I'm like, touche, crappy movie, you got me right there. And that was pretty much it from that point on. The movie has all of the tropes that you would expect when it's starting to build up to any kind of suspense or anything whatsoever. So you don't have any kind of surprise when these things happen. The effects, like I said, are extremely lackluster. The kills are boring and bland. The characters, now while I will say the actors did a good job delivering the god-awful dialogue of this movie, which I will get into in the positives, there's just no really likable characters in this movie. Now, like in the first film when Helen was being chased by the killer and there's the whole sequence that's going on, man, you are rooting for her, you are hoping the best for her, you want her to make it through, and just when we get that moment where it seems like she is gonna get away and we're as an audience going, hooray for her, boom, killed. Don't expect anything cool like that. Don't expect that kind of cool stuff, choreography in the kills or anything like that. These are very boring and bland. And the jump scares are horribly pathetic. Like, they're the jump scares where it's like someone standing in the room, the camera will zoom in on the character's face, and then the camera will zoom out, and the killer's directly behind them. Okay, yeah, never seen that one before. Not a very scary movie, not very good on the kills, and then also too, the movie tries to tie in humor. And so for a moment there, I thought for certain this was going to try to be a parody. Okay, cool. We're going to try something a little different with one of these sequels. We're going to change the entire tone of the franchise. We're going to take it from a serious slasher film into something lighthearted and comedy-driven. Okay, let's see where this goes. No, they just throw in out-of-place jokes for no good reason. It was basically one of those things where it's like, hey, you know what the kids love today in those MCUs? They love the jokes. The kids love the jokes in the MCUs, so make sure you put the jokes in there because the kids are going to love it, even though it's an R-rated movie. So I have no idea why these horribly awkward jokes were shoehorned into this movie. On the positive side, the positives I do have to say about this movie, simply the actors do the best job they possibly can with the dialogue and the script they were given. They don't have a lot of good dialogue to work with or much of a script whatsoever, and they absolutely give their all in this movie. And the ending of this film is actually something that I really enjoyed. I thought that they kind of went for it on this, and I think that there is a good possibility that the way this film wraps up could possibly cause a little bit of controversy if people actually go see this movie. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of good stuff that I want to talk about. The acting was on par. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't outstanding. It was doable. And then the third act twist, I guess you could say, was okay. It was okay because they tried to do something a little bit different. Some people might think it worked out. Some people might not. I would have to say that it was kind of one of the nicest parts of the movie. Period. Other than that, I feel like I sat there for almost 2 hours wasting my goddamn time with this one. And I'm sorry to be beating this movie up so badly, but that's just my opinion on it. I'm sorry. That's just the way it all worked out. I did not have a good time with this movie, and I do have a very difficult time recommending this, period. I do not think this is worth your time in theaters. I do not think that this is worth your hard-earned money. There's other stuff that's coming out this weekend that might be a lot better. And if you haven't seen Superman yet, just go see freaking Superman. And if you have seen Superman, go see it again. Because if you just have to go see a movie this weekend, and then I'm telling you right now, go see Superman. At least that's my opinion right now for my first movie of this weekend. So there you have it, guys. Another one of my reviews in the bags. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.